Tonight on Connecticut's news station, a weather watch alert. We're tracking round 3 of showers with a look at just how much rain we'll get and when it'll end.
And the New Britain family calling for justice. Why they say a new report into the death of their mother involving a police officer isn't doing enough.
And it's day 3 of the Brian North trial. We're hearing from the other trooper who was first on scene the day Mubarak Suleiman was killed.
Fox 61, Connecticut's news station, begins with a weather watch alert.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us here on the Fox 61 News at 6. I'm Sarah Sanchez.
And I'm Brent Harden. We are in a weather watch alert now. Another rainy day here in Connecticut.
Let's send it right over to Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank for a look at what we can expect throughout the night and for the rest of the week. Hi, Rachel.
Yeah, most of us are seeing rain out there right now, but I think the heaviest will actually arrive later tonight and through the overnight hours. So let's take a look at this alert. We could end up seeing a widespread 1 to 3 inches of rain throughout the state, but in eastern and southeastern Connecticut, there could be some higher amounts up to 4 inches. The heaviest will be around 8 o'clock tonight through 3 o'clock in the morning, and that's when you'll really hear the rain coming down out there. But by the morning commute tomorrow, we're just seeing some lingering lighter showers. And in terms of impact, we're talking about clearly a wet evening commute, but also we're watching the chance for some poor drainage flooding. Some basements may flood and rivers may rise as well. We aren't anticipating a high-end flooding event where it's really widespread across the state, but there could be some reports. Hey, New London County getting a little bit of a break in the action right now, but we've got some downpours here across Windham County in the New Haven area. It's certainly wet. For the evening commute, I'm sure things are a little bit slower out there. And if you look to the south, you'll see a parade of heavier downpours that are working their way to the north. So rain heavily at times through the overnight hours. Temperatures right around the 50-degree mark for most of the night. And then we'll see those showers start to diminish as we head towards daybreak tomorrow. So to begin the day for the commute, some light scattered showers are out there, but nothing heavy. And then we'll see them kind of off and on through the course of the day. Even when it's not raining, it's just kind of a cloudy, damp feel tomorrow with temperatures around 50 degrees. And then we dry things out later tomorrow night. We're going to talk about another round of rain this weekend. Your full forecast is coming up.
Rachel, thank you. An outspoken yet heartbroken family is vowing to continue its quest for justice tonight after learning the New Britain police officer who hit and killed their mother will not face charges.
A lengthy report by the state's attorney's office claims there's not enough evidence to charge the officer with manslaughter. Fox 61's Matt Caron has reaction from the family.
The family of Catherine Colon has lost faith in the justice system after this report not only declines to charge New Britain police officer Connor Reinsch, but also blames Colon for, quote, intentionally placing herself in unnecessary danger. It's a 132-page report of the moment Catherine Colon was killed. A report that includes evidence photos of the scene, the damaged cruiser, the clothes Colon was wearing, and a diagram of the impact location.
It has put a lot of stress on our family as a whole.
The 40-year-old New Britain mother of 4 was run over in September of 2023 by New Britain police officer Connor Reinsch. Her death followed by days of protest. The state's attorney's report concluded Reinsch was speeding without his emergency lights and sirens at about 1 a.m. on his way to check out a burglary when he struck Colon here on West Main Street.
Our family is demanding that this officer be held accountable, arrested, fired, and decertified.
Moments before impact, Reinsch admitted he got distracted by a man on the side of the road saying, "I turned my head to the right to get a better look at the mail." A witness described Reinsch as upset and crying after impact.
We're disgusted. Our family is ultimately devastated that this officer won't be held accountable.
Not only does the report decline to charge Reinsch, but it blames the victim, saying Colon was wearing dark clothing and appeared suddenly out of nowhere, not showing any sign of evasive or reactionary type actions.
They want to cast blame on the victim, the pedestrian, who was my mother, who was just crossing the street.
A toxicology report did discover Colon was high on a cocktail of substances ranging from alcohol and cocaine to fentanyl. Fox 61 went to the New Britain Police Department in search of answers.
I'm Matt Karen with Fox 61 News. I stopped in to talk with somebody about the death of Catherine Cologne.
Ultimately, we got a statement from the chief, Matt Marino, that says in part, Officer Reinsch remains on restricted duty. We recognize these circumstances will have a lasting effect on Catherine's family and friends, as well as the community, and continue to offer our most sincere condolences. Officer Reinsch does not have a past disciplinary history. Maribel tells us she plans to hold another rally to honor her mother's memory and call for justice on the 6-month anniversary of her mother's death on March 21st. Reporting in New Britain, Matt Karen, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
And new tonight, a Willimantic police officer is on paid leave. There's now an open investigation into a hit-and-run crash involving his car. Police say someone driving a car owned by an off-duty officer hit a parked vehicle on Main Street around 2 a.m. Saturday. The crash caused a chain reaction, ultimately damaging 6 other cars. The driver left the scene. Police are not saying if the off-duty officer was driving the car at the time. All we know is the officer is the owner of that car. That officer has not been identified, and there are no charges right now.
On day 3 of the trial for Trooper Brian North, jurors got a close look at multiple videos taken from the body cams of officers the day Mubarak Suleiman was killed.
North is facing a manslaughter charge in connection to the 19-year-old's death. Fox 61's Julie LeBlanc has the latest.
Tonight, we're hearing from the handful of police officers and troopers who responded the night Mubarak Suleiman was killed, and we're also getting a first-hand look at their body camera video. Multiple video clips taken from January 15th, 2020, the day 19-year-old Mubarak Suleiman was shot and killed after being chased by troopers.
Left lane, passing 40, speeds 80.
Initially, troopers were on I-95 South trying to stop Suleiman in a stolen car unsuccessfully. Prosecutors playing the dispatch call.
Be advised, one of them was armed with a knife.
Troopers followed Suleiman onto Campbell Ave in West Haven, where he crashed into another car, coming to a stop under the overpass.
I heard sirens that were getting louder and closer.
Jody Longley was pulled over that night, watching it all play out, her eyes on Suleiman in the driver's seat of the car.
I just saw him sitting there. And then, like I said, there's a lot of commotion. Everything happened in a matter of seconds. I can't make out what anybody was saying. There was a bunch of just yelling. Okay. And honestly, when I was looking, but like I said, everything happened quickly, I didn't see any movement.
Seen in the body camera video, Trooper North goes to the driver's side window of Suleiman's car with his gun drawn, while another trooper goes to the passenger side. All as a West Haven officer breaks the passenger side window. For a moment, North asked the other trooper to use a non-lethal weapon.
Jackson, go to taser! Taser!
Moments later, Trooper Jackson says he saw Suleiman reach for a knife. That's when North shot him. Trooper Jackson recalling it all in court.
He was holding it, had it in his hand at the, I guess you call it the grip of the knife, and he was moving it in a very threatening and aggressive manner, as if he was planning to do something with that knife. Inspector General Robert Devlin Jr. questioning that so-called aggressive movement.
He's turning to the driver's side of the vehicle, correct?
He is making a motion
toward Trooper North, not toward you.
The defense following with this.
Someone could have been hurt with that knife.
Correct.
You could have been hurt with that knife.
Correct.
You could have been killed with that knife.
Correct.
At the end of the day, the Inspector General and the prosecutor in this case saying he plans to rest tomorrow. As for the defense, they hope to call their first witness on Friday. Now, we will also find out tomorrow if Trooper Brian North plans to take the stand. We are in Milford. Julia LeBlanc, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Julia, thank you. Stamford police have upgraded charges for 2 people involved in the death of a man. Orlando Perez and Juan Perez were originally charged for assaulting Modesto Gomez in October of last year after they admitted to being involved in his death. Police say the charges were upgraded to murder following an investigation.
In Danbury, fire crews responded to a hazmat situation. This happened at a business on Worcester Heights Road. Officials say a hydrogen chloride alarm, which is a chemical that's used in their lab, was to blame here. The building was evacuated so a hazmat team could fix a small leak in a tank. There were no injuries or any exposure to staff or responders.
Crews in Milford responding after a vehicle crashed into a CVS. It all happened on Boston Post Road just before 1:45 yesterday afternoon. One person was taken to the hospital to be checked out. No word on the extent of their injuries right now. The building department was called to make sure the building was structurally stable.
A multi-vehicle crash backed up traffic for some time on I-95 in Stamford. This is video of the incident from yesterday. Officials say multiple cars, a tractor trailer, and a dump truck were all involved. What a mess. More than 40 firefighters responded to the scene to help free the driver of the dump truck. Officials say only 2 minor injuries were reported. State police are still investigating what led to that crash.
And supporters are pushing the state to do more to help working families with the cost of raising children. They're asking lawmakers to make a child tax credit permanent in our state. Supporters want to see a $600 tax credit passed for up to 3 children for married households who make less than $200,000 and single households who make less than $100,000 per year.
I think that, a lot of parents could really use this money towards a utility bill or some debt that they have. And, it doesn't seem like much, but it really is, especially when I only have one child, but when you have more than one child and, parents who are working full time and they still are not able to make ends meet, I'm one of those parents.
Those in support of the legislation had the chance to speak to lawmakers today during a public hearing. Now it's just a matter of a vote if this is brought to the floor.
Lawmakers are looking at another way to save families some cash. They might nix the sales tax on children's clothing. The Republican sponsors of the bill say it's a small but worthy way to look out for families. This would only apply to children's clothing under $100. Right now, sales tax has taken off most children's clothing during August's tax-free week, but many lawmakers say it's worth losing that little amount of revenue for year-round relief.